If you don't want to listen to the other posts, here's a brief synopsis of what's been going on. My fiancée Faye has had a sleep disorder since she was a little girl. It involves night terrors, sleepwalking, sleep talking, etc. This condition is generally under control, but is exacerbated by stress. A few days ago, we went on vacation and stayed in a cabin in Pikes Peak, Colorado. We found a creepy handmade dream catcher in the forest behind the cabin, and at night, we heard several voices calling out from the woods, saying all kinds of terrifying things. Sometimes the voices would mimic people we knew, including deceased relatives. Faye's sleep disturbances got much worse, and while sleep-talking one night, I overheard her answering strange questions about herself and me. When we returned to our home in California, her behavior became extremely erratic, and she is convinced that something has followed us back. I cannot tell you how much all of your support means to us over the past few days. Faye feels good knowing that people are constantly asking about her health. I feel like a few of your suggestions have literally saved her life. So, thank you. Seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't even know where to begin. So much has happened in the last 2.5 days. The sedatives and the anxiety meds the doctor gave to Faye work during the day, and she has been less stressed. However, at night, her behavior is still highly unusual. I've taken the overwhelming consensus of Redditors seriously. I went out and purchased a bunch of child-proofing materials for the house to prevent Faye from harming herself or going outside while sleepwalking. I could not afford a bunch of cameras. Sorry. I'm a teacher. I bought these knob covers that little kids, and hopefully sleepwalkers, are too stupid to figure out. Outlet covers in case she tries to jam anything into them, and I hid the kitchen knives. I also brought in a spiritual healer after very carefully searching for one. It is my opinion that 99% of them are frauds and hucksters, but this woman did not charge us anything, and she was recommended by close family. She is the daughter of a Shoshone tribal elder. The long and short of it is, she believes our house is not haunted. However, she says that Faye feels very off. She said she couldn't get a good read on her at all, and that there's a dark cloud over her. Still suspicious of this woman, I took her to a random upstairs window and told her I'd seen something outside near the edge of the woods, mimicking Faye's sleepwalking, which was true, but I pointed out the wrong window, to the wrong part of the forest. She quietly examined the other windows upstairs and said that our bedroom window, the correct one, gave her a terrible feeling. She said, "He watches from here. She can hear him whispering at night." We told her everything. She was horrified by our story. The look on her face unsettled me so much. I mean, it was like she'd never heard of anything this bad. She went out of the room and had to collect herself downstairs. The woman prayed for several minutes, sang a beautiful song in a language I can't even begin to describe, and saged our entire house. She put some kind of crushed herbs on the ground in front of the 2 doors that led into our home. Then she told me, in private, "You are dealing with the Heeelllooooo ones." She said its name in her ancestral language, but I can't even come close to remembering, let alone spelling it. She said that one is infatuated with Faye and will do absolutely anything to get inside our house, but the process takes time. I don't know if I actually buy any of this, but at least she didn't sell it to me. We also had Faye take a pregnancy test, as recommended by many Redditors. The woman said it was a good idea. Good news, not pregnant. And the woman stood in the bathroom with her like a prison guard, so she couldn't fuck with the test. We then thanked the woman, and she left. That night, we attached a little jingle bell from Faye's Christmas-themed lingerie to a hair scrunchie and put it around her ankle. I'm such a light sleeper, there's no way she'd be able to get out of bed without waking me. Faye fell asleep really fast due to the meds, out like a light, in a few minutes. I lay in bed thinking about the 5 she wrote on the window in her sleep a few nights earlier, and reasoned that it meant 5 a.m., and not 5 days, as some Redditors had speculated. This makes sense because she's been getting up at that time to sleepwalk every night for 4 nights now. And since the 5 was written backwards, facing the backyard, I reasoned that it was a signal to whatever was out there, that she was going to try and let it inside. Eventually, I fell asleep, and I had a fucking horrifying dream. Something came into the house, through the sliding glass doors to the yard, and walked up the stairs and into our bedroom. It sat at the edge of our bed, rubbing Faye's foot and staring at us. It was completely wreathed in shadow. I couldn't see it at all, except for a silhouette. Just like the video I posted about what I saw a few nights earlier. I woke up soaked in sweat. I couldn't fall back asleep for a while. But 5 a.m. rolled around, and the reliable little jingle bell woke me right up. In her sleep, Faye did something she's never done before. She stood up on the bed, rigid as a board, and stared out the window. I shouldn't really say stared because her eyes were closed, but she was alert, watching, listening. She remained there like a statue for at least 5 minutes. I also didn't move. I just watched. Then, she slowly raised her hand and started waving at someone outside. My skin crawled when she did that. She definitely knew someone was there, even with her eyes shut. Faye then stepped off the bed and darted to the bedroom door, trying to get out into the hallway. But the child-proof knob cover stopped her. She couldn't figure it out in her sleep. And she did another thing she's never done while sleepwalking. She got extremely angry and started pulling on the cover. She shrieked and growled like a trapped animal. After about 30 seconds of this, she woke herself up. She started crying really hard, told me that in her nightmares, she'd seen a man without a face, walking through the halls of our home, whispering her name and looking for her. I sat up and talked with her for an hour, and then we went back to sleep. When I woke up again, it was around 10 a.m., and Faye was gone. The bedroom window was open. As I walked downstairs, I saw her in the backyard, reading. Every single window in the entire house was open, and it was like 55 degrees outside. She told me the smell of sage made her nauseous. She wanted to get it out of the house. I couldn't smell anything. I suggested that we go to the church downtown today to speak with a priest. She's Catholic. But she refused. So I had my buddy Kay, who is a very, very devout Catholic, come over with some holy water and his crucifix. Apparently, Kay told his priest what was going on, and the guy very reluctantly blessed the water and told us to call him. Faye was irritated that I'd done this without her permission and waited outside while Kay set up a few little crosses and his big crucifix around the house. Faye refused to have any holy water put on her. She kept saying, "I'm freezing. Don't you dare." She's going to be super pissed when she finds out I put that shit in her shampoo and conditioner bottles. She was in a really nasty mood all morning, but after we went out for lunch, she was feeling better and agreed to film the interview video and answer questions from Redditors. While filming, I noticed that she wasn't wearing her engagement ring and realized she hadn't been wearing it in several days. I asked her where it was, and she said it was in our luggage, which we've now only partially unpacked. Later, when I checked, it wasn't there. I'm worried about this for a few reasons. I will post the video as soon as she watches and approves it. She's self-conscious. Expect it within a few days. I've finally begun moving some more of the photos from the cabin onto my laptop, too. I can't bring myself to listen to the voice recordings just yet. Since this is getting overlong, a flash forward to last night. I got up about 1 a.m. to pee, and I knocked the bell scrunchie off the bed. Faye had taken it off and was gone. I got angry and scared at the same time. I found her sitting on the stairs, looking down into the dark, spreading her arms open like she was trying to get a child to climb the staircase for its first time. She was smiling with her eyes closed. As I usually do, I gently got her up and walked her back to bed. When I laid down next to her, she leaned over and with her eyes still closed, said, "They're gonna kill you." And then licked my face. I called her parents today to arrange a flight back to Colorado. They're paying for it. Her mom, Laura, admitted to me that something had happened to Faye as a child at the cabin. That's where her sleep disturbances started, when she was 5. I've had enough, and they can tell. They spoke with the ranger at Pikes Peak again, and he's arranging for me to meet with him and his buddies from the tribe, who knows the entire history of the area, and of all the hauntings that other visitors have reported. Faye will be staying with my 2 best friends, R and J, and Jay's fiancée, A. I've known all 3 of them since high school, and they are completely informed about all these events. They will guard her with their lives. In short, I'm going back to the cabin. Alone. I'll update soon, but no matter what happens, I'm not going to drag this any further on No Sleep. I've polluted this place enough with my problems. Edit. Folks, I won't be at the cabin alone. I'm meeting the ranger and his friends there. His 2 friends are from his tribe. Nation? Sorry, I don't know the correct terminology. And they are healers. They know all about Pikes Peak and the ongoing situation. I'm not going out easy. Update. Dropped Faye off at my friend's place. They'll take care of her. Heading to the airport now. No idea when I'll get back on. I will try tonight if I'm not too tired after landing. Update. Midnight, Colorado. I'm at Faye's parents. Exhausted. Talked to her parents extensively. I got word from my friends. Faye started feeling really ill, wanted to go home. I moved the whole posse over to our house, which has been saged, blessed, protected, covered in holy water and crucifixes, and she's allegedly doing much better now. Richard and Jason's fiancée Allison are all sleeping over for a few nights to ensure Faye is alright. Heading to the cabin tomorrow morning to meet the ranger. Update, 9:45 a.m., Colorado. Leaving in 1 hour to go to the cabin. Update, 5:15 p.m. Spotty bullshit Wi-Fi, snowing like crazy up here. Met with the ranger, investigated the cabin. Nothing unusual inside except a lampshade removed from a lamp, which he claims was not like that when he came in here a few days ago. His friends will be here tomorrow morning. I'm alone for tonight. I went outside for just a minute when it was still light to grab some things from the truck and heard two voices. Making short videos with my phone. Will try to upload. Update. The next day, 9:12 p.m. So much has gone down. I am so terrified and sleep deprived. I'm writing a huge post right now with everything that's happened. I will post it tomorrow morning because I know I can't finish it tonight. I'm going to fall asleep in my chair. I'm sorry to keep you waiting.